Hello friends, myself Shriran Korde. Welcome you all to Hands-on C Programming video tutorial series. Now the question to some of you would be, what is C? And the answer obvious is C is a programming language. C was developed in AT&T Bell Labs in 1972 and it was designed and written by a person named Dennis Ritchie. Now the reason is why C is so popular even till today. The reason is because it's reliable, it's simple and easy to use. Another important reason is when we say that in industry newer languages and tools and technologies have come and disappeared, however, still has C has still survived. That means it must be really good. Another reason or opinion that people say is C has already been superseded by languages like C sharp, C++, Java. So why one needs to understand C language? Apart from that, another reason that has been given is Python now has become very popular. Now why one needs to understand C programming language? So obviously there has to be reasons. So one now needs to understand the reason why one needs to understand C and why it becomes relevant even till date. One aspect when it comes to object-oriented programming is people think like C++ or C sharp or Java basically help you to organize the program. But what about programming? In the end, you are supposed to carry out the programming. And even if the codes are getting generated by say artificial intelligence tools, but still one needs to understand at the lower level what exactly is happening. And that's where C plays a very important role. So one develops the very basic programming skills when one is doing programming using C language. So that's a very important point. Another point is when it comes to operating systems, say for example the operating systems like Windows, Android, Linux and Unix, the important portions of operating systems are written in C. The reason is because it's the point that is very important, and that point is performance, so speed of execution. And when it comes to C language, no language can beat it with respect to speed of execution. Also, when it comes to adding new devices, people write the program to tackle handling of those new devices. So essentially I'm talking about device driver programs, and those programs are exclusively written in C programs. Then it comes to various day-to-day usage devices like say for example microwave ovens, then set-top boxes, cameras, digital cameras and things like that. So all these examples essentially have microprocessors, and when it comes to writing programs, typically C is the language people use. The reason is obviously you are now talking about embedded programs, and that's where again C outperforms other languages. And then comes another very important point is with respect to the games. Like when it comes to the 3D computer games, or for that matter whatever the games typically will have the game engines, so those essentially happen to be written in C, or the core portions are written in C. The reason is again goes back the easy to use, easy to write, and obviously the speed of execution. And then as I mentioned to you earlier, like when it comes to interacting closely with hardware, C plays a very important role. So there are several reasons essentially which makes C very important. It's a very relevant language. Even in today's Android phones, or for that matter iPhones, whatever the phones that we are using in our day to day, C plays a very important role at the operating system level, at the device driver levels, and then there are several such examples. And another reason with respect to Python, why? Because nowadays Python happens to be one of the very popular scripting language. So the backend or a lot of libraries with respect to Python essentially are written in C program. One such example is people use NumPy module in Python, and essentially NumPy relies on C-like arrays. So there are such reasons or several reasons that makes learning C very important. And to put it in very simple language, I will say if you want to learn programming, if you want to understand how the programs are getting generated by tools like ChatGPT or for that matter AI tools, then one needs to understand how typically the programs are written, and C happens to be the most important or the important language with respect to understanding how do I write programs. I hope these reasons will convince you so that you basically will learn C. The most important reason I'll put for the people who are going to learn C for the first time is you are going to learn programming, and C plays a very important role. Why? Because C is more or less like the mother of all the languages. I'll put it in very simple language or in a simple way, and you will be able to then master any other language if you basically understand C very well in depth. So in this tutorial series, we are going to understand C programming, but the approach will be we are going to do hands-on C programming. I hope you like this video. Thank you.